We live in an incredibly comfortable world where the fusion of technology and innovation has transformed our daily lives. With just few taps on our smartphones, food delivery services provide us with a vast array of meals from around the globe, ensuring that we never go hungry. In education, online platforms offer a wealth of knowledge at our fingertips, allowing us to learn anything, anywhere. Meanwhile, our access to quality healthcare has never been better, with telemedicine and cutting-edge treatments improving our health outcomes. In this age of convenience and abundance, we enjoy a quality of life that generations before us could only dream of. But what if we take off our rose-colored glasses? The picture of this incredibly prosperous world might change a bit. Now we can see a world where entire countries are on the brink of becoming uninhabitable. By 2030, reputable experts predict that over 1 billion people could be forced to leave their homes due to climate change, political instability and resource scarcity. In today's video, we are diving into the top 10 countries that may become impossible to live in just few short years. From rising sea levels to extreme temperatures, these nations face challenges that could change the face of our planet forever. Hit the like button, subscribe, and let's uncover the shocking realities behind these statistics and what they mean for our future. So, how did we determine which countries are at the risk of becoming unlivable by 2030? Our rankings are grounded in credible data from respected organizations like the United Nations, the American Red Cross, and the International Rescue Committee. We analyzed a variety of critical factors that paint a complete picture of each country's situation. First up is economic stability. We looked at inflation rates, debt levels, and job availability. Next, we considered the political situation, examining issues like corruption, governance, and civil unrest. We also assessed healthcare access. After all, a country's ability to provide medical care can make or break the quality of life for its citizens. Finally, we factored in environmental challenges such as climate change and natural disasters, which can have devastating impacts on communities. By combining these elements, we can better understand the complex crises that may turn these nations into places where living becomes increasingly difficult. Watch till the end, and I bet you'll be shocked to see countries not only from Africa, Latin America, and Asia on this list, but also from Europe. What did you say? Yes, you heard that right. Once celebrated as one of the wealthiest nations in Latin America, Venezuela has plunged into a deep economic crisis that many can't even imagine. The country's downfall is largely due to hyperinflation, which has skyrocketed to an astonishing 200% in recent years. This means that prices double every few months, making it nearly impossible for families to afford basic necessities. Venezuela's economy heavily relies on its vast oil reserves. At its peak, oil accounted for 95% of the country's export. However, mismanagement and corruption have crippled this once thriving industry. To make matters worse, international sanctions, especially from the United States, have further strangled the economy, cutting off access to vital markets and resources. The consequences are devastating. Today, over 90% of Venezuelans live in poverty, and many struggle to find food, medicine, and clean water. Grocery store shelves are often bare, and citizens wait in long lines for hours just to purchase basic items. Families are being forced to make heartbreaking choices, highlighting how far this nation has fallen from its former glory. The situation in Venezuela serves as a stark reminder of how quickly prosperity can turn into despair. Guys, what do you think are the key factors that led to Venezuela's economic collapse, and how could the country potentially recover in the future? Share your opinions in the comment section. Lebanon is teetering on the edge of collapse, facing a crisis that many call unprecedented. Since 2019, the Lebanese pound has lost over 98% of its value, leading to hyperinflation that makes basic goods unaffordable for most families. The banking system is in shambles, leaving people unable to access their savings or make everyday transactions. The healthcare system is also crumbling, with hospitals struggling to keep their doors open due to shortages of supplies and staff. Political dysfunction only adds to the chaos, as leaders fail to implement necessary reforms. For Lebanon to find stability, urgent international support and significant infrastructure improvements are essential. Without action, this once vibrant nation risks becoming unlivable for its people. Tunisia is grappling with serious economic challenges that threaten its stability. The unemployment rate has surged to around 15%, with youth unemployment skyrocketing to nearly 35%, leaving many young graduates without job prospects. The country's heavy reliance on imports makes it vulnerable to global market fluctuations, with food prices rising sharply due to international supply chain disruptions. Additionally, external factors like the war in Ukraine has exacerbated Tunisia's troubles, driving up the prices of essential goods like wheat, which increased by 25% in just few months. If these issues unaddressed, the future could look grim for this once promising nation. Sri Lanka is facing a severe economic crisis fueled by a staggering national debt of approximately $51 billion. This massive debt has led to soaring inflation, with prices for essential goods skyrocketing by over 60% in just 1 year, severely impacting living standards for everyday citizens. Political instability has intensified public dissatisfaction, resulting in widespread protests demanding government accountability and change. Just last year, protests erupted across the country, with thousands of citizens taking to the streets to express their frustrations over shortages of food, fuel and medicine. Adding to these challenges, climate change has wreaked havoc on agriculture, making Sri Lanka vulnerable to natural disasters like droughts and floods. Mismanagement has only worsened the situation, as ineffective policies fail to address the country's growing problems. Without urgent action, Sri Lanka risks slipping further into a cycle of debt and despair. Pakistan is facing a severe economic crisis, with foreign exchange reserves plummeting to around $11 billion, barely enough to cover a few weeks' worth of imports. This instability has led to rampant inflation, projected at 27%, making it increasingly difficult for families to afford basic necessities. Political instability worsens the situation, with ongoing power struggles and corruption eroding public trust. Rising poverty and income inequality threaten national unity, as protests erupt over soaring prices and worsening living conditions. Additionally, natural disasters like floods and droughts severely impact agriculture, a vital sector for the economy. The catastrophic floods in 2022 submerged 1/3 of the country, costing over $15 billion in damages. These challenges create a vicious cycle that Pakistan must urgently address to secure a stable future for its citizens. Kenya faces considerable political instability, particularly during election seasons, driven by entrenched corruption and ethnic tensions. The country struggles with heavy public debt and a worsening food crisis exacerbated by droughts, with at least 30% of government revenue allocated to debt repayment. This limits investments in essential infrastructure and social services. Security concerns, especially threats from groups like Al-Shabaab, further complicate the situation. Additionally, the devolution of government power has led to decentralized corruption, making effective governance more challenging. Addressing these pervasive issues is crucial for Kenya to achieve lasting stability and improve its economic prospects. Belarus faces multiple challenges stemming from economic strain due to the European Union sanctions related to its support for Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Financial restrictions and exclusion from the SWIFT system have disrupted trade and commerce, leading to increased living costs. Public discontent is growing as infrastructure deteriorates and essential services are neglected. Political repression, characterized by arbitrary detentions and censorship, deepens societal divides. The immigration of young educated citizens contributes to a significant brain drain, leaving the country without critical talent needed for economic recovery. Addressing these issues will require substantial reforms and renewed international diplomacy. Ghana is grappling with a severe economic crisis, characterized by a declining currency and soaring inflation. With public debt projected to surpass 80% of GDP, the government faces constraints on investing in infrastructure and services. Political instability is rising, particularly with tensions escalating ahead of the 2024 elections, threatening national stability. Corruption undermines public trust and hampers economic development, while Ghana's resilience on foreign financial leaves it vulnerable to economic shocks. Additionally, environmental challenges and a lack of diversification further complicate the country's path to recovery. Nigeria faces persistent challenges, particularly in its electricity infrastructure, which suffers from frequent outages. This unreliability stifles economic growth, hindering businesses and driving up operational costs. Political instability and rampant corruption further exacerbate the situation, with deep-rooted ethnic tensions often leading to conflict and unrest. These issues create an environment of uncertainty that deters investment and stifles development. To overcome these hurdles, Nigeria must prioritize effective governance and equitable resource distribution. Without addressing these fundamental problems, the country risks falling deeper into a cycle of instability that undermines its potential as one of Africa's largest economies. Ethiopia is currently grappling with the devastating aftermath of a prolonged civil war, which has left the country in turmoil and sparked a severe humanitarian crisis. Millions are facing food insecurity, with about 20 million people in urgent need of assistance as a result of the conflict and ongoing instability. The nation's massive external debt, which stands at approximately $60 billion, exacerbates the situation. High debt servicing costs divert essential resources away from critical social services such as healthcare and education, further entrenching poverty. Compounding these issues, climate change has led to erratic weather patterns, severely impacting agriculture, the backbone of Ethiopia's economy. Droughts and floods disrupt food production, highlighting the risk of famine. Addressing these interconnected challenges requires urgent diplomatic efforts, especially regarding regional tensions over resources, like the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Effective dialogue and collaboration with neighboring countries are crucial to foster stability and ensure a sustainable future for Ethiopia and its people. The stark realities unfolding in many countries around the world serve as a wake-up call for all of us. As nations grapple with economic collapse, political unrest, and environmental challenges, the risk of becoming unlivable by 2030 looms ever closer. The time for action is now. The international community must rally together to support vulnerable nations in their fight for stability and prosperity. By shining a light on these struggles, we can inspire collective responsibility and ignite meaningful change. Share your thoughts in the comments on what countries can do to save themselves and which ones may be beyond the hope. Also, don't forget to hit a like button, subscribe and share this video so you won't miss our next cool series. See you very soon!